Rafael Marquez is one of the greats of Mexican football. He made his international debut way back in 1997, and the 34-year-old is still in the setup the best part of 2 decades on. A former captain of the national side, he's one of 9 players to win more than a century of caps for his country, having represented El Tri on 111 occasions.
I find playing for your national team is an amazing thing. I have a sense of pride, satisfaction, and responsibility when I represent my country, especially when you consider just how popular football is in Mexico.
One of Rafa's football highlights came early in his career when Mexico hosted the 1999 FIFA Confederations Cup, and FIFA Football Mundial recently sat down with him to reflect upon it.
I had the opportunity to play in a Confederations Cup final. I had the chance to be in the starting 11 and to play with wonderful players, both in our team and theirs. It was incredible. I was very young at the time and just couldn't believe it. There was a lot of pressure, but I think I enjoyed being in the moment above all else. It was the sort of thing I'd always dreamt of. It was something I'd wanted to experience ever since I was a kid.
Mexico topped their group and reached the deciding game at the expense of the USA in the semis. But an outstanding performance from Casey Keller in the American goal meant Mexico's progress had looked in doubt.
It's true that Casey Keller was in great form in the semi-final. He was a good goalkeeper, and it showed that day. It looked like we weren't going to score, even after all the chances we'd created. But the most important thing is we didn't let our heads drop. We kept trying. We knew we could score, and we took our chance when it came. It was that belief which helped us get through to the final in that tournament.
Cuauhtémoc Blanco's match-winning goal against the USA was his 5th of the tournament, and the striker's form was a key factor in the team's run to the final.
Cuauhtémoc was and still is an idol in Mexico. I have great memories of him. He was just an example to us all. He set such a high standard for our team and for every Mexican player since. He just confirmed what a quality player he was at that Confederations Cup. He was an important player, and his form gave us all confidence. He was really enjoying his football during the whole tournament.
The final was played in front of a sellout crowd of 110,000 in Mexico City's Azteca Stadium.
My memories of the final in the Azteca are wonderful, because that stadium has an atmosphere all its own. It's enormous, and I think it's one of the best stadiums in the whole world. The feeling the fans created during that final made for an incredible atmosphere.
Facing Marquez and Mexico were a Brazil side who'd scored 15 goals en route to the final and included a rising star who'd go on to great things.
Ronaldinho was the player who really surprised me during the tournament. He was already showing glimpses of the kind of player he'd become. He was a Brazilian star in the making. He caught everybody's eye, and his performances then were just the beginning. Even though we played against each other, he was, and still is, a good friend of mine.
Brought on by the fanatical local support, Mexico raced into a 2-0 lead inside the first half hour through goals from Miguel Cepeda and Jose Manuel Abundis. But Serginho and Ronnie scored 2 goals in 4 minutes either side of half-time to bring the Seleção back into the game. A second from Cepeda put El Tri back in front before Marquez played a massive part in what would turn out to be the decisive goal.
I don't really know what I was thinking. I just thought I had to get forward. I may be a defensive player, but I'm always looking to step up and attack. That goal was about trying to get upfield as fast as possible. I was lucky to cross the ball so well, especially since I did it with my weaker left foot, and that Blanco could control it and finish it off.
The 4-3 win marks the only time Mexico has lifted the prestigious trophy. 14 years after that triumphant night in the Azteca, the team's victory remains a defining highlight in the career of one of Mexico's finest servants.
When I think about all the achievements throughout my career, winning the Confederations Cup in Mexico is right up there. It's something that'll always be very important to me. You play the best teams from each of the confederations, so winning it is a major thing for any player. It's an important competition, and for me, it's an achievement I'll never forget.